That's a standard time. Should have been at 2000, but I was messing with some stuff. Trying to get one of the other devices a charge. Ended up with going this one. Anyways, what we're working on here, just getting some ideas. This is the concrete base for your what they call them, door posts for like your light bases. I think we'll go up one more level of macaronis, and then do the white center stud, and then run a square posts up for a light pole. This idea is for parking lot. I made based it on the 6 wide car from the 1974 set 710. This is a real basket case. It looks like the trunk's missing, which actually it is, and the car fits pretty well. Of course, this is just a small patch. Even doing a few spaces, give you an idea how big a shopping mall would be in Lego Sphere. I mean, it would be huge. Oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, we got another goat herd here. He was on a base. He threw me off. Anyways, we're going to use the goat herds guy here from the most recent CMF. Even though this car is very archaic, very old, it was a play scale, kind of the last of the cars from the old model builder series, and this Design Wars are probably a display model. But curiously, even though minifigures were nowhere near even on the radar, I don't think at the time, they had maxi figures. 6 wide car actually fits pretty good. I mean, it would be a little small, but you know, for like a fun Lego mock or just for a rough idea, I think it works. Let's see. 8. I'm basing on a 10 wide parking area. I think that's about right, at least for this scaled look here, which would be fun. And the reason that I like the 1970s Lego builds for this is the mall is would be based on the Marionville Mall. I have no intention, I don't think in my lifetime I would ever finish it. It's just that it's the original 1978 Dawn of the Dead. So that's why this car will be kind of a nostalgia thing more than anything. That style of cars. Unfortunately, Lego only made this car in this blue one that I'm aware of. And these were specific base plates. See, they're actually a base plate for the car. If you want to make the car longer, as a kid, I figured this out. You move the front end to the back. It changes the look a little bit, but not too badly. And that leaves, in this one, on this end, it's an overhang. I'll show you what I'm talking about real quick here. See that? There's no lip. The fenders, the arches actually create the overhang, which is why it makes such a great junk car. I mean, it's just the potential is really great. I mean, Lego really gave us a nice car with this one, I think. But anyways, long story short, if you move your axle back, you can stretch out the car. It's not bad. It's not bad. This car is also incorrect in another area. This 1x4, I always think it looks kind of cool that way because it creates kind of a cutback coupe look, especially since this would be a coupe because it's a 2-door. I mean, obviously, look how small the cockpit is with the big long hood. But it's supposed to actually have an angled piece back there. And I was on eBay and Bricklink looking for it, and between shipping and just messing because I don't have one, at least none that I want to give up for this kind of a build. It's just falling apart. So there was a guy selling a basket case 710 set, so I just bought that one, and that'll give me parts to finish up the tow truck. Reaching over here. Here's the tow truck from the set. They're pretty cool. They got steering. They got open doors. They're not bad, but this tow truck has some other issues along with things. For example, this is curious. I have seen this before. I just can't remember where. This is from a more recent, maybe from the 74 or 75. I know these sets were around. Some of the old Lego sets did not get retired quite as quickly as they do now. They would be around for a bit. Anyways, this is the truck body, as much as I can do with what I have here. It's pretty cool. I like the opening doors, and actually, as a child, little kid playing because I got sick in school one day, is when I realized, you know, it doesn't work, but it's pretty close to minifigure scale. I mean, it works. The problem is the illusion is broken when you compare the car to the truck. No way. It just doesn't go. And if you notice, Lego laziness did start back then. Yep, boys and girls, look at that. They just reused the brick off the car. Now, this weird overhang look was common when I was a kid. What you would see is these big Mack trucks, and where the headlights would normally go would be blocked over. And they would then put the actual headlights underneath it. But that's enough yapping about that. The person who sold me this set, they built it with 2x4 bricks, which is wrong. Use 1x2 plates, and then I need the 2x3s up front. I need them to be black. It creates a space for this chassis piece, which has this very, very delicate piece of plastic here, which allows the steering to turn back and forth. It's pretty cool, actually. It's one of my more favorite sets, not because it's such a great set, but because I remember winter nights of playing with it instead of sleeping because I hated school. But that's another matter, is entirely. Now, what was I going to tell? Oh, yes, the tree. It'll be good, I think, as a trunk, and I'm going to run it quite a bit higher before I start doing the branches. And the branches, I can plug in where these 1x1, where the cylinder pieces are. And that will allow me to offset branches. I can substitute 1x2s here, so I can do double stack branches. And I'm going to use 1x stock, like 1x6, 1x8s, to stretch the branches out, maybe even create some overhanging stuff. That's no problem. Pretty excited about that. The problem I ran into last night as I looked at this was this. These don't interlock. Everything else does. I crisscross these back and forth. Someone will shoot. And it's not quite round. So I realized on set 75080 on the AAT, it uses those 10 1/4 pieces. And they do make them reddish brown. They're kind of hard to find. I do have some come from eBay and some from Bricklink. More than I probably need. And I'm either going to do it occasionally here and there to segment the tree, or if it looks too weird, I'm going to put them on every level, which will make the tree taller, make it way stronger, and will give me extra parts to bind branches and stuff in. So I'm pretty excited about that. But once again, as you all know, sometimes things don't work out quite that way in real life, but it's okay. It's fine. I did make a small mock today featuring one of these cars, and oh yeah, here it is. Oh, why is that doing here? Oh well, it needs pictures. And this is my camera truck I sometimes use. Basically, I had extra junk parts from 710, actually, I think it is. And this is a really old one, all the paint's missing and stuff. And I call it my camera truck because it gets sacrificed for pieces here and there sometimes, but I always rebuild it. I'll make it a shark nose next time around. And it doesn't steer anymore, but it has these really cool old wheels. This one's actually wrong. Yeah, that one's a weird one. Anyways, you can take the tires off and create like a studded empty wheel look. And these textured tires were the last variation of these big tires. And the ones before this were like a whitish gray, very light gray. But yeah. Yes. And on that note, those textured tires, I do have memories of playing with one of those in my car, the one I grew up with. I checked it as in storage. I can't believe it. A bunch of homework stuff too from elementary school still there. That's just nuts. But my toy car from back then had the textured tires instead of my truck. So I'm thinking the very last generation, they probably went to those tires just like when they switched on the 4x wide cars, they went from the smooth tires to the textured tires. It's just Legos little things, and any kind of hobbies you get into, any kind of collectibles you get into, a lot of times, years later, you'll go back and try to find something. You go, they must have made it this way, but I can't prove it. And it's because at the time, they're just making stuff. I mean, like this knife is one example, but like everyone knows, iPads, iPhones, it's entirely possible to go out of the store, cell phone provider, whatever, get an iPad, get an iPhone, and it has some kind of weird technology in it, just like the 86.5 Nissan hardbody trucks. When those came out, if you had the 4-eyed one or the 2-headlight one, 4 headlight, it was like an 85.5 or 86.5, they called it. And it was very easy to order the wrong parts. And some of the parts under your HUD were from the previous one. I've run into that in like antique firearms, Lego sets. I've definitely run into that. All sorts of things. It's just like factories like just using up stuff and just throw the stuff in there to get it out the door, you know. Kind of what I think Lego's doing with these goats. I kind of like this goat mold. And correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't the old goat mold like really valuable? And I don't know how it compares to these because I probably don't have one. If I do, it's lost, so it's just like not having it. But I want to get more of these, not more of these, but I want to get my Triceratops guy. And I'll be honest, these new CMFs are pretty rough. They're pretty rough. But yeah, the Triceratops guy is the one I want. In fact, you know that he's a premium one because they put his picture right there. Just like the old, is it the Ogre from Series 9, the Cyclops, I mean. The Fright Knight's really cool. I don't have that one either. I've got the train one. I've got the dog one. I don't have the warrior that on the bottom. I don't have the Fright Knight. I got one of the detective. I got the girl with the pink hair, and I got a bunch of the goats, like 9 or 10 of the goat herds. Ten of them, I think. Message retracted. Oh, hey, how you doing? But yeah, it's oh well. There's some background noise going, but I don't think it's carrying through because the speakers on the bottom of this saying it's. I just got the phone sitting upright. Oh, I checked my other channel out and actually got better watch hours on that one. A lot less subscribers, a lot more interaction, a lot more views without subscribing. So, oh well. It's basically a non-monetizable channel, I think, because it's going to be just about pew-pews. New Space Mystery figures, yes. That'll be cool. I think my biggest squeaking about the figures is I'm getting lots and lots of duplicates and the price. I mean, when I got this one, the first one I got is pretty cool. Now they've got 6 of them. It's definitely not that cool. Especially 2 of them were actually missing pieces, which is really ironic, actually. And they weren't open ones either, because I have been buying some of the open ones if the store give me a good deal. I feel weird about that because, you know, they always give me the discount, but sometimes they look at me like, did you do it? No, I didn't tear open the package, I promise you. Whatever. Oh well. But yeah, I was sorting some parts of my Star Destroyer. I need to get cracking on that. I really do. I don't have much else going on. I was just kind of tired because it's been rough. I'm working tomorrow and worked late on Friday, and it's snowing again. It's April showers, Alaska style, for sure. That's all right. I mean, eventually the mosquitoes will be here every summer. Oh my goodness. But yeah, pretty excited about all the Lego pieces coming out. Really, there's going to be a bunch of sets. I'm just a little bit kind of curious because either I'm seeing a shortage of the sets at Fred Meyer or people just buying them up. Oh, that's right. I was so excited to get the Millennium Falcon. I don't think I'm going to build it, or at least not yet. And it's cool seeing those sets out there. I'm glad to see them available. This goat herd guy, I'm trying to be on the positive side. His bag is cool, but this hood piece maybe could be used in Star Wars, I think. I don't know about this stick. And I can only make so many zombies. I mean, I like the dual molded legs. It's really cool. He does have multiple faces. Maybe I'll turn his head around. He looks a little bit like Ned Flanders from Simpsons, I think. So I got another one of these. I got a basket case of this car set coming, and that'll give me enough pieces to have a complete car, and hopefully will give me enough pieces to have a total derelict car which will be perfect for mocks and for ideas. Okay. Yes, I'm looking at, someone sent me a message at the top. But I was rewatching that original Dawn of the Dead, and it's pretty cool, I guess. It's what I grew up with, so it's cool, you know. I mean, it's kind of wild as a kid. I got to see Star Wars, and the next year Dawn of the Dead came out. Oh, yeah, I was too young to watch it, of course, but, you know, it's like telling little me that you can't watch something or can't do something. Yeah. I just realized I'm old enough that my first car had a starter button, not like today's, and it had points, and it was a 6-volt system. It was a 1954 Ford. I drove it for years. Years. I mean, I had it for years. But yeah, it's kind of cool though. Sometimes I get those memories of going back to those old stores, old flickering lights and stuff. I was looking at Lego sets. I do want to get a 7662 MTT sealed and package. It's on my list of things I want. But I've kind of had some financial setbacks, which is kind of funny. I mean, it's not funny. Well, it is funny, and it's like whatever. But my car's got like repairs to do, and I was hanging out with my friends at a local gun shop, and the owner there was asking about something coming out, and I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be really cool. He says, on your bucket list? I said, oh yeah, sure, of course it is. You know about bucket lists? They're not really a wish list. It's like a wish list only, and it was probably item 57 out of 100 items. And then he calls me up and told me he ordered it. I'm like, you did what? For who? And there's silence, like crickets. So yeah, I got financial responsibility to pay that off, pick it up. Which is funny because it's really cool. It's just a shotgun. I don't know. I still shoot the shotgun I bought back in the 80s. Sorry. I know newer is always better, it's always cooler, and everything, the YouTube and commercials always say, oh, you get the newest one, but frankly, I still like the old one. It's got all the memories and fishing my dog, getting attacked by a bear, very scary. Been there for all that. Started a fire when it was raining using a flare shell in it. Good memories, good stuff. Now let's get back to Lego because I found myself wandering here. Some of these conversations we had on the last live stream I got thinking about. And you remember COPPA on YouTube and all those ad apocalypses and stuff. I think moving forward, in here I've just been rambling, but I really would like to keep the conversation on Lego. And if somebody is like asking for weird DMs and stuff, let's go ahead and work as a community here and figure out what's up with that. Because I got some serious red flags from that person's conversation. They could have been innocent, but they're asking some very weird questions. Like, you're supposed to be 13 to be on the YouTube, right? And we all know that you can get around that, but when the person specifically asks to have contact with people underage, I'm like, no, I don't want that. I don't want that here. So let's just work together on that one. Yep, he purchased something for me without me saying, just immediately saying like, oh yeah, it'd be kind of cool. So now I'm like really careful. I was talking to somebody about some Lego stuff today, and a person who's in a position to clear an estate sale, and he asked me twice, is there anything you're interested in? I'm like, no. If you get something, you get a load of stuff in, bring it into his shop, I'll take a look at. But I'm really careful. I'm really careful about not promising anything, or even saying I'm interested in something right now, because it's about like $1,000 that well, yeah, I know. I kind of felt that way too. Oh, hey, how you doing? But he's giving me free ammo, and he actually gave me some Lego sets. I know it sounds weird from a gun shop, but they came through an estate sale, so I don't want to wreck that friendship. That's cool. I mean, it's me and my big mouth. That's what it is. I'm sure it isn't. I'm sure that he pushed it on me deliberately, but that's okay. Times are tough. Some places are running slow, so it's okay. I mean, it's all right. I mean, it's kind of fun. Maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll need the gun. I mean, it's a Marine Coat gun. It's probably a good choice. Yeah, a little presumptuous. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm so excited waiting for these Lego pieces to come in. I wish you were all here. I know some people, some of these channels I watch, they don't unbox as it comes in. I know they pile stuff up so that they can just go, they can just go and go right to the build. And I'd like to be there. I'm still building my parts collection. I think the grass, green grass and tree leaves is a sure bet because I can use that on anything. Gray plates. Uh, hey, how you doing? Yep, back to Lego. Yeah, for sure. And like things like that, I think are good for everything Star Wars or any kind of a build or anything like that. Um, I like these 2x3s. Seems like it's a good one for paving. They make those big 6x6 ones, but I don't know. But that way allows me to do custom areas, like even if I was going to do like something like Coruscant. Okay, UCS Cantina. That's really cool. Really, Dark Droid, cool. Oh my goodness, but yeah. So just trying to figure out my parts collection, and the other thing is when I first kind of got back into Lego, I would just leave stuff, and I'm sure y'all done that same thing, just leaving like bags and stuff, and just set them aside, and I go get to it later, get to it later, and then I started to find out I accidentally ordered parts I already had, and get to it later, and now I've got a lot I need to go through, and I don't want to do it at all. I didn't want to do it then when it was manageable. Now I got like, a 5 gallon bucket full of bags with like 2 and 3 of this and 1 or 2 of that. I'm like, I don't want to do this. But I work away on it because I don't mind buying Lego stuff, of course. It's kind of exciting. I always get happy about seeing it, but it's like I hate to buy something I already have, especially if it's something kind of weird, like say red wedge plates that I need like one for restoring an AT-AT on the inside where it doesn't show, even though when Lego likes to do that, they like to use those bright colors, especially on the older sets. And then, you end up with 10 of them because that's what the guy sent. And then you forget you had them and you order another one and you're never going to probably need them. And it's cool. It's great. But I think that green grass, probably dark orange, stuff like that is probably really safe. The dark orange, obviously, for Geonosis, which I'm starting to really. I got some base plates coming, actual base plates in dark orange, supposedly, and I'm pretty excited about getting them, but they ship them slow boats, so the tracker says it may take 6 weeks to get here, which is like, oh my God. But it's all right, it's all good. In the meantime, other stuff is coming in. I think somebody offered me a Rancor parts or something at work. I told them just bring it in because it might be a fake one. They're not a Lego person, and they were trying to hawk some fake shoes a while back, a couple of years ago. So I don't exactly trust them. But if they bring it in and the parts are legit, that's fine. I'm not going to give much for them. I don't need any more Rancor parts. I mean, I got a junk body and an extra arm for Rancor, but I don't want to restore another Rancor. I mean, it's a really cool model. I like the figure. I mean, I'm leaving this with the green fingers just for character. I don't know. And then, what was under the Rancor is another goat. Crazy. That's why I'm not sure. I think I got 9 or 10 of those goat heads because I've got a bunch of the goats just laying there. But yeah, man, it's pretty cool though. I got some different ideas. I want to do stuff, a few ideas for mocks and stuff. So it's pretty exciting. I think so. I will continue building my Trade Federation army, And I really do want to get another MTT 7662, probably for the Army. And maybe eventual bucket list. Maybe I would like to get one in a box for my collection. Originally, I wanted to do a sealed set of all the 1999 sets, and I kind of, between the price of them, and just kind of lost interest in it. It's like, oh God, I don't ever really like this set. And now I don't know if they want me to pay how much for it. And then I got a set in that somebody packaged it really badly. I think I showed it on YouTube. It was an MTT, and I mean, the guy from this viewer from England, I watch his channel too, but he's like, that's the worst packaging I've ever seen. I'm like, yeah, it actually is. We are due for an MTT. We are due for one. The last one in 2015. We need a Clone Wars one. Okay, I mean, if you're Lego, and then maybe there's one coming up. Be a big surprise. But if you go on eBay, you go on YouTube, how many custom CIS MTTs are there? And some of them are really nice. They're beautiful. Some of them are just kind of rips of the Lego one, which is fine. The Lego one works. That one, I've seen a really curvy one. I think they said it's like $1,300. Jesus. Well, that's a problem, but it is a beautiful set. It's really strong. I know that M&R had one from Republic Bricks set. It looks okay. Yeah, it is what it is. And you can, the cool thing about Lego, you always sit down and design your own. I mean, yeah, it is the anniversary. And the Clone Wars one would be cool too. Yeah, you're right. I know that the CIS Clone Wars one actually has a different profile than in the movie. And Lego, kind of that big one from 2007, my favorite set, it kind of, I think, captures the look of the one in the Trade Federation, the Invasion of Naboo. I think it covers it really well. And we're seeing a lot of Clone Wars stuff. I think maybe, Lego could just surprise one out there. Maybe even a mid-scale one, like a diorama, would be cool with all the anniversary stuff. The Clone Wars polybag, and that's a good one. It's actually the colors are good. Yeah, yeah, the polybag one is nice. There's actually a lot of little MTT builds out there. I mean, no, not a lot, but there's a really old one from the was it 2009? It was a blister pack when Lego used like a raised brick on the outside of the package. That was not a bad one, and that's the standard brown one, but it's not bad. It really isn't. It's just that 2007. It was big. Everything worked. It had that play feature, and then they sent us that downsized one for 15, and I was disappointed when I saw it. I passed on. Boy, I slept hard on that one. And then after I started the YouTube channel, that many years later, I'm going, I need to probably revisit it. And I thought, you know what? I've matured some, I've lived some since then. It'll be great. And I hate it. In fact, I did 2 videos and I deleted both original videos because I could feel the bitterness. I mean, I felt like I've been cheated all over again. But yeah, a diorama would be really cool. And Lego's got all these great grass pieces out. They've been experimenting with more foliage looks, and I think that it would be a good year to do it. You could literally do a nice one. But yeah, that 2015, I did do a video, and I tried to be as pleasant as possible about it. A little bit of sarcasm still came out. Mostly, my biggest problem is the underframe shows. You can like see through it. And I can put my big fat sausage fingers through it, and it's like, no, you shouldn't. But the color of it is probably better, and it does have some nice structure look to it. It's too small, and I understand that Lego probably couldn't outdo the 2007, What they probably should have done in 15 is done the CIS one. And then they could have done a good chance to change that. They would easily be able to explain away a change of the look, do a whole new color palette, and everybody would have been cool with it. Because as it is, I mean, all three MTTs, even the old one was at 2000, they're all the Naboo Trade Federation Army. And the first one does look pretty awkward, although it's cool because it splits open to make a base. You know, it's got the same playset. Hey, how you doing? But for many reasons, it is still my favorite set and may always be my favorite set. It doesn't mean we don't have other sets we like, but in Star Wars, that's definitely it. It's funny about this car. It reminds me of the, if you guys played Warhammer 40K, but when they first came out or maybe when they first came out, when I got into it, like in the late 80s, they had a poly molded piece that was a really short base car, and it had junk and stuff, and you could use it for a barrier in your gaming. But yeah. But the Lego tree, where I'm really struggling is how to do like big branches, like splitting the top. But we'll make the first tree rather simple, mostly up, branches coming out, and then build it upward. And then if as I develop onto it, I might try multiple branches or something a little bit different. Some great videos out there. Thanks for the tips from y'all on Lego tree building. There's some really great ideas out there. And the Lego's trees actually on their indoor set are not bad. It's just not big enough for what I want, because I want that big, massive tree because I want to put a Rancor in the mock. I want the big trees. I need, and I was kind of worried about like the roots, and I thought about doing the slab sides like Lego does, but then I thought here, at least in Alaska, the ground's cold, and a lot of the roots for the trees are hair roots. You run on top of the ground, which is common in a lot of places. And in Lego, you can easily do that by putting tiles or small 1x1s rounds on top of the ground, moving away from the tree. And 1x1 rounds allow you to do something in a straight line, and you can actually do like grass clumps, because that's a lot of times what you see. That's why you're always up here in the woods if you're like hiking or something in the woods, and you gotta be careful, one, because of the animals, and two, you can trip over a tree stump or a tree branch really easily, and the ground is sometimes soft underneath it, literally catch your toe. It's kind of you just gotta be careful. And if you're in the really old forest, sometimes old branches will fall from trees up there. It's like, the heck. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's getting warm though. Summer's practically here. It's like, God, it must be like 33, 34 today, Fahrenheit. I mean, just a little bit of snow coming down. It's a little bit of wet snow. Summer's here basically. It's gonna be nice. I'm just worried about how many mosquitoes, because usually when there's a lot of snow, it's a lot of mosquitoes. But hey, that's all right. But I'm excited about that jalopy truck coming in, and he said it's missing. He gave a list of the pieces it's missing. I don't really care because I've got enough to basically almost make a set. So, and if I end up with one junk truck that I can't fix for the set, I could use that in a diorama. I just need to find a way to make it wider. Speaking about that last AAT, sorry, shit, choke. That's better. That last AAT came out 2019. The one that so many people were very critical about. I think one of the problems is it's a little bit narrow, and it's definitely short on the back. If you would widen it by like 2 studs, I need to disassemble one to make sure I know what I'm talking about. But I think you could add extra of the spring-loaded missiles, and that would give you 4. And then you could extend the back, or really cool item I did actually like better is making that big defoliator from the Clone Wars. And there's some cool Bricklink ones, and between the movies, images online, and other people's mocks, that set from 2019 would not be a bad place to start. for a defoliator model. And you're probably saying, why would you do that? It's just mostly because if you're building like a Trade Federation army, especially, it's like, I know there's more to it, but basically you're looking at AATs, MTTs, and some sort of platoon carrier. And it gets a little bit repetitious. Now, defoliator wouldn't really be available for me because I'm doing the Invasion of Naboo, so, you know. But it might just be a fun model build, just like that CIS I built based on the 75080. I really like the way it came out, and basically it's just a color swap of Lego's very proven model. So that's really cool. Oh, right on, man. Thank you. But yeah, the best thing about Lego is it just allows you to run your own imagination. You know, if you don't like the way Lego made it, you can always redesign it. And I think that's a real strength there is, even if you like this, you like the way they made it, you can always extend it, make it larger, make more of it. Like that one of the channels took a bunch of the Endor speed sets or Endor Pursuit and made a really big version of it, and it looked really good, you know. Oh, hey, how you doing? Oh my goodness. But yeah, I've been trying to keep up on the Saturday streams. It's the best day for it. I did have to work that one Saturday, and that really messed things up. I still technically started the stream on Saturday, but it was really early Sunday, and I was really tired, and it was obvious. And I didn't even I watched part of it back, and I couldn't even watch it because I'm like, oh my goodness, looks like I'm getting ready to fall asleep, you know, because I was probably. But yeah. Definitely really excited about. I like these new leaf pieces and some of these plant pieces that come out. I'm just sitting there thinking and realizing that I see potential for one of the new plant toppers they have. The Titanic, really? Oh my goodness, that is amazing. I don't have it. Guy at work, he bought 2 of them. Yeah, I know. He's a funny guy. Just leave it at that. And the one basically says one to rock, one to stock. Yeah, and I'm just smiling because his parents bought him a new car, and when I say it like that, I just got this little smile playing because he's 55 years old. That's all. Just me. It's all good. Hey, how you doing? But yeah, the Titanic is amazing. I mean, I love the UCS sets. I kind of wish I could have like space to have like more UCS sets. To me, well, why lie? The money is a big part of it, but also the space. Like that Star Destroyer, I'm dragging my feet because it's missing pieces. But I'm dragging my feet because I'm like watching the table I'm building on, going, I gotta be careful. It's already getting to be where you gotta be careful moving around so you don't hit it and knock it off on the floor or something, which would be really terrible, actually. Yeah, that would be bad. I do need to actually get the 3rd clone turbo tank. I never got it, the little downsized one. And the reason I get it is the reason I always tell people about same thing about Lego. If you don't like it, don't get it, and that's kind of why I haven't gotten it. I would like to get the old UCS Sandcrawler. That'd be really cool to have. That's a beautiful set. But dang. I guess in a way I put limits on Lego. Oh, what time is it from here? It's 2100 hours, 9 o'clock at night. 2100. Is because I don't want to like put all my money all over the place and end up with a bunch of mismatched themes. So I've been really concentrating on trying to do Clone Wars and then Trade Federation Army. And the only downside to me about Trade Federation Army is I'm not a big fan of putting little droids up and watch them, lean over and fall over and stuff. But I like the vehicles, and I like the Geonosian zombies. I've been buying here and there when I can find them. And unintentionally, I like the Gungan army. So with that, mock building, I can buy grass pieces, and oh, hey, how you doing? And it's kind of easy builds to do. I was watching Coconut Brick Studios, and he's got some amazing, amazing, beautiful MOCs. And when I first started watching, I'm like, man, that'd be cool. I can do that. I got a lot of Lego pieces. But now that I've tried making some MOCs, everybody's always, David, why are your MOCs so small? Because I don't have the pieces. You think you have the pieces. I mean, like, I literally have, I mean, they're little bags over. These little grass pieces here. I've got 600 of them. And you'd be surprised that really isn't that many when it comes to doing a MOC. It just isn't, and that's just one aspect of it. Although that will allow me to sometimes use filler brick and just cover it over with grass pieces, which is kind of cool. And the way I make it sound, you probably say, I haven't seen any of these MOCs. No, because a lot of the stuff I do never makes it onto the camera because I don't like it. Oh, hey, how you doing? But I like the idea of like abandoned vehicles and abandoned places because it's easy just to grassed over, grown over MOCs, and that's really, really cool. And that kind of thing works really easy to do. I would like to do more Star Wars battle stuff. And to that end, some of the World War II stuff fits in really well, especially from the Clone Wars. Oh, Spider-Man? Okay, that's cool. Yeah, to be honest, someone has asked me several times about other themes, and yes, I like Ninjago. I do like it. I have some Bionicle stuff. I've got some sealed Bionicle sets. It's cool, I mean, it's what you like. But Star Wars is definitely the big one for me. I mean, some of the city sets are cool. In fact, I actually had a dream about, is it the recycle truck? How easy it could be to modify that into Star Wars and like fill the recycle bins with like broken droid parts. It just kind of fun stuff, Under that, Jawas and the big sand crawlers be really easy to do a whole bunch of theme stuff with that and just have a good time, It's all about having a good time, and it's a great hobby, it's a great community, and I mean, just endless. I mean, the amount of parts and pieces we have now from Lego, like, I'm sure some people know all the pieces, but every time I go on Bricklink or something, it's like, wow, I didn't know they made that, or I didn't know they made this or this color of it. I'm really glad to see the reddish brown. But yeah, the tree stuff and Dathomir should go out pretty good. I'm still doing Geonosis. I'm going to build like a base. I've mentioned several times, just larger for the gunship to do a little bit of the battle. Eventually, I can do more of Geonosis, but some of those beautiful sets you see on YouTube have like 250,000 pieces. Let that sink in. And it's like, I mean, even one dude that does like the Lego trains, and just amazing stuff he's got. But some of those train sets, they go so far back, and he's got like real brownstone buildings that are like minifigure scale with like rooms in each one, and it's like, and just doing this little tiny parking lot tells me the amount of space and the amount of time. When I didn't know nothing about Lego back during the what was it, quarantine, shall we say, I tried to build a Lego castle, and I did, but it was a little rough, and it let me know just how many pieces I need to buy. Basically, I like the Lego Star Wars. I also like Ninjago. That's probably my other one. And then, of course, all the old vintage sets, between just the fact they're cool and probably my own memories of playing on the playground with them and stuff. My little blue car went everywhere. I dig it out, like I said, and it's got scratching and stuff all over it from being carried in my little book bag and playing in the dirt behind Rabbit Creek Elementary School. But yeah. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, the small MOCs, they're also more satisfying because I'm sure anyone can appreciate there's nothing like getting into too big of a project and you start losing interest or start asking yourself, start second guessing your end goal, your light at the end of the tunnel. And then you start finding excuses to not mess with it, not to do anything with it. And I always hate that. And I've done that on all sorts of projects, including like cars. And there's nothing like watching a car sitting there reminding you that you should be working on it. You need to be doing something. Like I got a power steering pump to put in a classic pickup truck in the yard. I need to get it done because if I don't do it, no one else is. Is the truck drivable without it? Yeah, but got a little tiny steering wheel in a park lot. It's not fun. It's not good. No. So I need to replace that, and I need to do a clutch on another one, and working all the time, it's hard to do that. But it's not something to complain about. Should be grateful to have the work and stuff. And when I was a kid, I like thinking back as an adult right now. If I let the blinders go too much, I go, man. When I was a kid, I had all this time. No, I didn't. Had homework to do and schoolwork to do, and literally homework, as in my parents had 1,300 chickens. So when I was a little kid, and Dad said, "What are you doing?" You didn't ever said nothing or "I'm bored," because you know what? There's always things to do. There's always chickens to feed. There's always candling to do. There's always something to do. And no, I'd water the hens, look for anything dead, make sure no fox or anything broke in or anything, and basically try to get out of the chicken pens as soon as possible and make myself very hard to find. I mean, I remember I was so depressed when I was a little kid. It must have been like in third grade. I got so sick the last couple of days of school. And mom took me to the hospital, actually, and I had strep throat. I remember thinking, no, I can't be getting sick like this right before summer starts. They even let me kick out of school one day early because it was probably so infectious. And I thought, oh my goodness. So I spent the first maybe week and a half of summer vacation. It was so hot in my room. It was so nice outside. I could see how nice and bright it was. And then when I started feeling better, it was like rain for the rest of the summer, it seemed like. And I still remember it. I'm still whining about it, which means it must have been really bad at the time. But it's all good. I mean, but it's kind of funny. You're going to find some old Lego set, old Lego build on the internet, Bricklink or something, and it's cool to have it. It's new to you. But you have to sometimes wonder yourself, like, man, who put this set together? What kind of things did this set see? What did it hear? Where was it? It's kind of pointless, but also makes you realize, like, whenever you're going through trouble or problems, things just look kind of rough. You got to remember, a bunch of people have already had the same problems. Maybe they didn't handle it so well. That's entirely possible. But you got to be positive and go, man, they made it. I want to make it. And a lot of people, especially when you get older, I guess, you don't like the idea that time doesn't stop. But I've always been kind of happy about that because, yeah, sure, I want that day with my dad fishing. I want that day to last forever. And it can as a memory. But also sometimes the bad stuff happens. And I'm glad that those days don't last forever because things keep moving forward. If you're not happy about, the Rebel helmets that came out, was that 2018, which I hated those. I absolutely hated them. They went away. And they're just a memory. There's people out there who love Lego now who never even know about those. Unfortunately, the Stormtrooper helmets stayed around, but hey, we can always be hopeful. No, I don't speak Russian. My first language actually was Japanese, and because I was kind of spent a lot of time in Japan, and my grandmother never learned to speak English, so yeah, kind of got bullied a little bit. So in fact, sometimes even now, I'll get tired and I'll be like, what was that word? What's the English word for that? Which is kind of embarrassing because I used to feel kind of cringed out when people in my family couldn't remember what word it was. Now I'm doing the same thing. It's like, oh God. It's all good. But yeah. But that's the whole thing, you know. It's like it's great to have this great community out here. It's great to talk about stuff, but it's like, you know, I keep picking the same up because I literally, it's not this one, but talking about things going past. This is still a solid looking, pretty nice looking little set. I mean, if this was maybe not quite this style, but if this was polybagged at Walmart for like $9.99 to $7.99 or something, nah, probably two's kidding. Probably $15.99 with today's prices, but it's still sell. I mean, they could pop one of those out every month, and a little car, a little plane, a little helicopter, a little boat. So, you know, somebody would buy them. Oh, hey, good to see you, man. Yeah, I'll be knocking this stream off soon. We're at 50 minutes, and the battery is starting to flash at me. I got ancient old iPhones I use for this because I don't know, because I'm unorganized. I've actually misplaced an iPhone around here. He got buried in a bucket of bricks. All right, good night, man. Good to see you, man. Thanks for dropping by. But it's like, you know, this set, yeah, it's got more scratches and stuff. It's a little faded, but it's still that set I had. And sometimes it might bring you comfort to realize you still have it, you know? It's like, I had an uncle who was like really negative about, you know, well, you can't go back and you're going to wish you'd done this and that. And it's just always rain on your parade, man. I mean, seriously, who needs that stuff? But anyways, what's funny is because of my work, I couldn't go to sleep and I couldn't stay away to come back home. So I would sometimes crash at my mom and dad's. And the first time that I'd done that, this was years ago now, I was sitting in the window of my old bedroom, looking out the window. I put my hand on the edge of the windowsill and immediately I got my finger cut. I'm like, what was that? And I'm going to use it for demonstration. When I was a kid, I would do dumb things like open up a knife and leave it on the windowsill. And I just cut myself on my old pocket knife I had back like in 4th or 5th grade. And I just sort of smiled and like, see, Uncle Mike, you can go back. You literally, it doesn't disappear. It doesn't get eaten up by the Langoliers or anything. It literally is still there. If someone didn't go behind and clean it up or Goodwill it, it's still there. And that may not be good, but sometimes I cleaned up my room and vacuumed up the floor under the bed, and I found like old Lego pieces under the bed, and you go, dude, how long have those things been under there? I mean, really, think about it. Because those were because I would sit, you know, cross-legged on the floor because I couldn't sleep, doing like Lego Technic sets and stuff from like the 80s, you know, the old Lego Technic when it was just coming out. And it's just like, man, you know, a different me sat there, you know, little kid me. But yeah, but that's one of the things I love about Lego is, you know, maybe you weren't there in 1974 to have that set. Maybe physically not even around yet or whatever, couldn't buy it, parents wouldn't buy it, whatever. You can still have it now. And that's what I love about Lego more than anything. And you would buy one that's missing pieces and make it right again. And because these pieces aren't painted or anything, they're molded, they hold the color. And let's face it, the old pieces have a lot of printing and stuff. I don't care for stickers so much, I really don't. Probably because I couldn't put the stickers on straight when I was a kid. And because I didn't get rid of Lego sets, I still have those sets, and they're still there to remind me that, oh, man, what was wrong with you? What were you like, you know, why couldn't you put that sticker on straight? It's like I was working on an old 8018 CIS AAT, and they had the clear stickers for the rocket launchers on the moon plates on the front of it. And the sticker was just nasty, and I was actually able to clean it and kind of reapply it. But I peeled it back. It's kind of gross, and it had like little cookie crumbs. Like, I swear they look like Oreo cookie crumbs. I think like somehow was eating Oreos. They put the scent on there, and somehow they got the sticker. They somehow got the crumbs. And then it's like, wait a minute, this is from 2009. I mean, it's kind of funny, you know. It's like, wow, probably a little kid, maybe as an adult. Hard to say, actually. But that's just some of the little side stories of this great hobby and this great community. And yeah, some of these sets, like the Cloud City set, is crazy expensive, and some of these individual pieces are super high. But for the most part, any of us can own any of these sets, and even the super expensive ones. I mean, if that's all you want to own, that's probably not out of your reach. Or you could brick it back together, which for some of those sets would be probably way more expensive than just finding the set. But I digress. I mean, you know. But yeah, there's just been so much greatness from Lego and so many different ideas they've had. And there's so many old pieces they probably don't even make anymore. This was part of the bridge thing, I believe. Some old set. It's pretty cool, actually. I mean, and you could actually build this with bricks. You could make it the same way, but it's kind of funny. Official Lego piece, you know? Oops. Crash. Whatever. But yeah, old Lego sets, and it needs to go upstairs. I need to put this thing away. It's a little trash truck from Fabuland. Now there's something that I like. I've totally forgot that. Someone asked me what sets I like. I like old Fabuland. Fabuland was made from 79 to 89. Or 78 to 88? I think it's 79 to 89. Anyways, it was like a kind of a Duplo looking, but it used regular Lego pieces. And the pieces are all compatible with Lego. Regular Lego. And it was just a cool little thing, you know, and yeah, kind of a weird one, Fabuland, but I like it, and I think all of us have different sets, and it's possible that you might rediscover something. Like maybe you might decide that you really like The Legend of Chima or something, and that's cool, you know. No apologies, no regrets, man. And if you do get a set that you really fall out of love with, you can always resell it and maybe it becomes someone else's favorite thing. And that's the other beauty of Lego. It's so shareable. It's so relatable. And it can literally be there with you, you know, your whole life. It's all good. And a great escape, like I said. Don't be afraid to walk away from a set. Don't end up hating a set because you hit a point or idea of a project. It's not over till it's over, you know. It's true about life too. Sometimes you might think it's the worst day, and you know what? It may very well be one of your worst day ever. But sometimes it's how you go on past that. You know, or how you don't go past it. That can happen too. But yeah, I remember going Toys R Us and all those old stores, and I think most of the Lego sets I get came from a place called Pay and Save back in the day. That in the airport, for some reason, duty free at the airport had a lot of Lego stuff and a lot of great comic books. They call it duty free because it's supposed to be tax and duties, import duties free. But they always got like the newest stuff available early, which is kind of interesting. But being at the airport, maybe that's why. Maybe not much of a mystery at all. Anyways, y'all, I really appreciate everyone dropping in and saying hi. I'm going to probably wind the stream down because I try not to go over an hour just because of the batteries and stuff. I don't want to be cut off. So we're going to count down to about an hour. And y'all take care of yourselves. And guys and gals out there, really appreciate you dropping in. I'll be hitting the hay soon and calling it a night, as they say. Well, relatively speaking. I was supposed to go out and get coffee today, but I forgot to. I just stayed in, worked on Lego stuff and organizing, which I need to get started on. It's getting to be a mess. Gets away from you. But yeah, definitely let me know, comments and stuff, projects you're working on, stuff that you like, sets you like, hopes and dreams you have for the future, because that's what it's all about, right? Just moving forward. And it turns out, like I said about things about Lego, if it turns out that you don't like the future sets, you can always go back and buy the old set. You go, well, you know what? I was wrong. I shouldn't have waited for the future set, and that's fine. That's all good. I mean, you can literally have the full set of Fabuland. even if you weren't alive in '79 to get them. And that's great, I guess. I mean, that's fine. Anyways, you guys have a great one, guys and gals out there. Until next time, stay safe, please. Ciao. There we are, 60 minutes.